And shalom, 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 everyone. I want to welcome everyone to King James Bible University. I'm Elder Michael Johnson. And we're going to be going through that precept mastery class for today. And we're actually going to be going through, this the wrong, I want to welcome everyone. 1 second. I knew that, I thought I turned that one off also, but I didn't. But we're going to be going through a weekly study on let me get that one back up, on the promises. So we want to understand what the promises is about. So we got some material there, but then I also want to show you how to break down, because as I was actually telling some of the people in the back, we have to think, your Belindas, your Elder Smith, Elder and Sister Smith, and also Sister Watson, in as Belinda and Brother John Smalls. Why? Because they some of the ones who always speak up, and based on how you speak up is based on how I can adjust on finding out what you need to see how I can adjust my teachings to help you out. Because if you don't talk, there's no possible way I can help you. So many people might sit there and say, I wish he can do this, I wish he can do that. But if I don't know, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So that's what pretty much happens. So what they do when they sit there and they speak and they let me know things was going on, then I know how to adjust my teachings. So I'm gonna show you some things which going to go in here, which actually going to be going into the next weekly study, which will tremendously help out many people and show you how to study in a great deal and actually faster, but also be more detailed. So let me pull this up, and I was just showing it to them in the back. And actually, I was using I had a guinea pig. I was using a guinea pig, my brother Elder Jenkins, and I was using him, which we was clarifying a lot of stuff. But let us go. Now why did that go out? Okay, now let me pull this up. I don't know why it did that. So let me go up. And so now this is for the next month teaching. We're going into November. This is what you're actually going to be seeing. So what we're doing here and what I've done, well, we're going to be going through Exodus, and we're going to be offering of the tabernacle. And this is we're going to be part of the studies, what's happening. But if you notice here where we put, and I have right here where I put the statement based on my Hebraeus way to where I go through when I look at everything in Hebrew. This is what I mainly do, how I lay out my scriptures before I start precepting. And basically what I do, I look at where the statement is, and then I put my statement there. So I go from Hebrew, then I put it over there in the statement. Then I put where he going to clarify what he already said right here. He's clarifying what he's talking about. Then as you go down, and I'm trying to see why my monitors keep blinking. I don't know why my monitors keep blinking. So I got to figure out what's going on. And because my main one not blinking, but my external monitors is blinking. So then as we continually go down, we'll see another statement made here, but then you'll see where you start giving the understanding. So you get the understanding of what he's talking about. Now, as we go and we look at the more, you'll see where he goes after that. He's going to give you a breakdown and clarification on what he made. So everything that he stated, now he's going to give you a breakdown and he's going to clarify. Then you see right back here, he goes back to his statement. And what this does, this helps you to where you can break down everything to where you can start actually precepting in a very, very easy way. Now, we also have where you got to focus on the bold words. I have that there for a reason, because the bold words to tell you is leading up to the reason or reasons in bold. So when you see the bold words that I have in here, it's leading up to something. So we need to also pay attention, but everything is here that I put in there for you. So you'll see clarification, statements, more clarification, a statement. So you'll see this all throughout all the text to where we'll be showing you to where you can make sure you can do your studies in a more direct way. So what do that mean? That's going to help you out to do quite a bit more work. Meaning what? You're going to be able to work more effective, but then also those books, the regular books that you already have, that most people already have on the weekly study, you'll still be able to get those through Lulu. But this one here is more of a teacher's edition, which we're going to actually make it a teacher's edition, which you have to actually order this through Precept Mastery. because we want to control on who's actually getting the books. That's why we're going to do that, because that is very important, and we don't want to go into certain places. Put it that way, make it be a lot easier. So we want to make sure that these books is actually going to be going through. So you'll order this one through Precept Mastery. So it's a couple of different ways the way you can do it. It's a couple of different ways to where they can order it, because Precept Mastery also have set up a Cash App to where you can just do Precept Mastery, and then what you'll do is put in the subject your name and address to where they know where to send it. On top of that, you won't be paying no shipping. All shipping fees is removed from them to do it. These are the things that we're doing for that. Also, what we're doing also with that, if you want to, most people who want to go through the preceptor, you can also do that with the preceptor, to where now you can go through, you can send it through to Cash App, to where you send it to Precept Mastery, and Precept Mastery put your email in there, your name and email, and then they can actually forward you the preceptor. So technically that's what they've been doing, what they've been working on. Now everything is pretty good. So we're good there. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to look at what we've been studying, and I want to find out from some of us, how have we been coming out? That's kind of what I want to see. How we've been coming out on this here. I need to let me move some things here. And I want to see how we've been coming out, because what I want to do, see, and the main thing is, the more people participate, the easier it is I can make it for you as you study. That's the simplest way to do things. So with this, where we're going to start going through, we're going to set up, we're going to look at the weekly study for Numbers, the promises. So we're going to look at this real quick. Let me pull it up so we can look at that and see what's going on. And then I want to ask some questions. I want to ask you some questions to where I want to see where people was at. This is what we've been saying that we try to find out. Now we know lesson 2, this is, we're moving into it. We went through Numbers 30:1 through 32:1. This is where we're going through. So I have a couple of questions which I want to ask people, and we want to see where you are and where you at and what's going on. So it's saying the promises. Can anyone in the front, on YouTube, or in the back, can you give me in a short sentence promises? The promises. What is the promises? What is the promises based on God? What is the promises based on us? What promises? Short sentence. And this is anyone. If anyone want to go at it, and let's see, because right now I see no one on either side put up anything. So in a short sentence, just what is a promise? What is a promise? And we have one. So let me go here. And Sister Watson.
It's making a vow to either the father, or you can make a vow to your family.
Yeah.
And keeping it.
Yep. And I like your last part, and keeping it. And keeping it. That's what everybody needs to really understand. And we're going to dig deeper in that, because we're going to find out how that actually works. And right now, we have Sister Terry Clark taking an oath, a vow with God. Yeah, and hearken to the word, hearken to his word, and he shall be, and we shall be his people. Yeah, that's technically not it, but what that's do, hearken to his word. So that's actually a command. So after the vow, that's actually being commanded. So we can't actually use that as that. And let me see. And then we have keeping the contact or the contract. And then it is a binding. Okay, that need to be a little bit more cleared out on what we have here. So what we're gonna do, so do anybody, because a lot of people are answering it actually correct. A lot of people are answering it correct. But what we need to find out is how it works. We got to find out how it works and how we're going to be, because we got to go through, because we got to put some work in to make sure. So what I want to do is find out, based on everybody doing that, can anybody post anything to show how the Most High is saying how his vow works with us? Can we see anywhere where his vow works with us? So so basically what I'm saying is, so if we make a vow to him, how do that work? How is that working? Because this is where we're going to get important to find out what's going on the vow. So we need to know, how is it? Okay, we have Sister Watson again. Okay, and Sister Watson.
When they stood in front of Mount Sinai, and everybody with on one accord vowed and said what the Father said they will do, and all of them said yes. That's what I'm using.
Exactly the point. So that's exactly the point. Now, when God make a vow, so can anyone give me the scripture where God made a vow with us?
Making me work hard.
Yeah, I want to see where he made a vow with us.
I know it's in the book of Genesis, so I can't find it.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna see. If you do, just put your hand back up. So I want to see where God made a vow with us. Actually, I need to pull this browser up to pull this Bible up to where we can get it. And you'll not flood the earth. Okay, yeah, that's a promise he made. The rainbow, yeah, that's a promise he made. In Exodus 12:25, let me get my Bible up to where I can see what's happening. And we're gonna look at them. We're gonna look at those verses, and then what we want to do is protect ourselves, because I see Mr. Spacey from the Jetsons. He has flood. God did promise he won't flood the earth anymore. He did do that. So what other promise that he made, we got to look at. And I'm logging in to where we can actually look at this, and then we're going to find some direct things on what's going on to see what's happening. And we have some where he promised curses. Yes, that's correct. And let's see, we just about in. And so we're getting quite a bit. We're getting quite a bit of information. Let me adjust this here. And I'm waiting. I really want to see one particular verse to where it's very blunt. 3:15. We have Genesis 3:15. Let's look at Genesis 3:15. And let me pull these back up here. I'm going to pull these up to where I can have it here. So we're looking at Genesis, and we're going to look at 3:15. And let's look at 3:15 and see what that says. And he says, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed, and it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Yeah, you're correct. This is another promise, but I want to know a direct promise he made to all Israel. This is what I'm asking, to all Israel, because you guys are giving some promises to individuals, but I want to see promises made to a people. Let me see. I have Sister Yvette, and you go ahead, my sister.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm thinking you were thinking of Exodus 19:5. Now therefore.
One already used 19:5.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, one already used
I
it.
guess I was asleep on that one. Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no worries. Yeah. And we have brother Smalls.
All right, shalom everyone. I have Deuteronomy 28 and 9.
28 and 9. Let's look at 28 and 9. and see what Deuteronomy 28:9 is. And it tell you, the Lord shall establish thee an holy people unto himself, as he has sworn unto thee, if thou should keep his commandments and the Lord thy God and walk in his ways. Yeah, see, that's another promise. So most of us, we clearly know what promises are. So we know these promises and vows are. Why? Because as we go forward, I want to make sure we know what we're talking about. So I want everybody to go and we're gonna see where the Most High made some promises. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna look there, and just like I said, we know what promises are because we got enough people where we know what these promises are. So what we're gonna do, and some of the main simplest ones, because sometimes we look too hard. We're gonna go to Psalms 89 and verse 34. And this is a promise he made. My covenant will I not break. He's not gonna break it. He's not gonna break no promise, nor alter the thing that's gone from my lips. Why? Because if he do, he's going to break all those vows that everybody ran into. So that's the good thing. So everybody know what those promises are, and he's telling you right there. So why do you have to use that? Because pretty much we had Mr. Spacey. He brought up to where, you know, he made a promise that he won't destroy the earth with a flood anymore. He did that, and how did he prove it? And see, I don't know why my thing keep blinking out. I'm gonna have to find out why it's doing that. And what he did, he made sure when that happened, he put a rainbow in the cloud. So now we see that all the time, and that's based on the promise. So when he see that, he'll remember what he promised. So that's one of the things. And he said right there, he's not going to break it, and he'll never alter it. So those things we know, he's clear on that. So same thing when we went to Deuteronomy 28:9. These are promises that was made to where we know he's not going to change it, nor he's going to break them. He made this clear. So these are made clear. We know now every promise he made, he's not going to change it. And then we look in another spot to where we're going to go to these are like concrete ones to where we know where he will not change what he's talking about. We're going to go to Malachi 3 and 6. Simple one, because now we know what he's talking about. So he says, for I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob, ye are not consumed. So you're not going to be consumed. Why? Because he's not changing. Because he made a promise to who? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So we know he did that. That's the only reason we're not being consumed. Other than that, we would have been consumed. But he made promises, and when he make those promises, he's hold to them. He don't change them. Same as when he was going to take us out before, when we made him really angry, which still technically, if he would have got rid of us all, he still wouldn't have been in the wrong, because he still had the seed of Moses, to where he would have just started another one, which was still from the seed of Jacob, Isaac, and Abraham. So he still would have been in the right, even though he would have did it. The only way he would have been wrong if he would have took us all out, and then he would have went through another people. But he wasn't going to do that. We would be in the stiff neck, and he wanted to take us all out. Technically, what he was doing. So those are things we have to look at. I'm trying to sit there and see in Sister Watson.
Okay, Elder Johnson, when you said we were talking about vows, I thought when the Most High made, when you saying it's a vow with the he will never destroy us again with water, it will be with fire, and that was
He said,
no.
That was a covenant. He said he'll never destroy the earth again.
Right, the earth. But I'm saying I thought that was a covenant. Is a covenant and a vow the same thing?
Yeah, that covenant, that's the vow. That's the vow he made. Yeah, that's the vow he made. So he made that vow with us, to where when he look up on it, he'll remember not to do that. So that's one of the biggest problems we have, because most people will sit there and say we don't have to wear fringes. They say we don't have to do certain things. However, he have fringes. He has the sun, he has the moon, he has the rainbow, he has many things showing him what to remember.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, so but people will tell you more differently. Well, no, I don't need this, I don't need, so you're saying you better than the Most High. Technically what people do. Yeah. Elder Smith.
Yes, Elder. In Malachi 3:6.
Yeah.
Now that's a statement, but would that also be a promise?
Yeah, that's a promise.
Yes.
That's the promise right there. He said, "For I am the Lord, I change not." That's his promise. He's not changing nothing. So,
Right.
so that even goes more to where he's saying this, and I got to find out why is this thing keep blinking. That's even a promise more. So he's not changing anything. So we know we're not being consumed based on what? He's not changing based on the statement, all these previous statements that he made.
Okay.
So,
Great, Elder. I'm down to just one way of looking at you. My computer, I can't pull up scriptures.
Because he don't know how to use a Mac.
okay. Yeah, so let me see. I have one here. Ziegler. It says when the Lord shall vow, I shall slack to play it, but God will surely require it of thee. Yeah, you pay your vows, which goes into Psalms 50 and 14, which you'll see that. Now, what I want to do is as we get ready, before we start kicking into this, is we're gonna see how this is gonna actually break down. So let's see how this will break down. Why I was asking you guys earlier, I want you guys to use your preceptors, because we're gonna see how some of this is gonna break down. And if we see how it break down, we're gonna find out something that's very, very peculiar here. So let's go in here and we're gonna look at some promises. We're gonna look at some promises and see how these promises work. So, and then we got to see exactly what Moses is talking about in the verse. So what we're going to do, we're going to look at, I got to go back to the verse. And let me get to the verse. Numbers. Numbers. Okay, we're looking at Numbers. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have to put a, let me, I want to close out this one. So what I'm gonna do, I'm getting ready, I'm gonna put this in here, I'm gonna put Numbers in there. And we want to see a couple of things. So let me set this up to where we're going to find out what's happening and look at it all together. So what we want to do is, let's see, 31, why am I 30? We need 31. My system is acting up today. Okay. I might have to move it over to another system. I might just have to move it to another system. Did I put it somewhere? I might can do it off of this one. I might can do it off of this one. 30 and 1. Okay. I want to keep that pop-up open. Okay, so now we have right here where it says, and Moses spake unto the heads of the tribes concerning the children of Israel, saying, this is the thing which the Lord have commanded. Now, the reason why I was saying for you guys to get your preceptor, because we're getting ready to look at something before we start going into the actual study. Because I want you guys to see how something works, to where if you're not doing this, this is where you can actually do it. So now we're looking at the verse, and we're going to tear this verse down, and then you're going to see how this is torn down. So what we want to do is here, we want to put the first thing is who? Is who? And here, who is it? Moses spake. So we know it's Moses, then all we have to do is put Moses. Then we put who Moses spoke to. Now we're going to we're going to go right here to Numbers, and we're going to actually put this in there, 30 in verse 1. And what we're going to put there? The heads. So now we had that clear. So Moses spoke to the heads. We know that. Why? Because it's telling you that right there. But what are we going to do? We're going to tear this verse completely down to understand what is he's talking about. That's why we're going to do this. So we can do it this way. We can find out many things. Actually, let me bring this closer to where we can look at it a little bit better. Okay, so now we have a little bit closer to where we can look at it a little bit better. So now we know what's going on here. But now we got to sit right here, and we got to put what? And then we got to put right there, what is it? The topic. What is the topic? Actually, let me capitalize. So the topic. What is the topic? What is the topic? We got to go back to Numbers. So what is the topic in here when we look in this verse here? What is the topic of what he's talking about? That's what we want to find out. This is how we start tearing down and precepting and find out what all was going on, and it's going to help you go deeper. So what we're going to do again, we're going to go to 30 and 1, but what is the topic? What is the topic? He commanded. He commanded. That's the topic. He commanded. He commanded something. Now, how we tearing this down? How are we tearing this down? Because now we got to put in another one down here. We got to put another one right down here. So we're going to sit there and see what he's talking about. So again, what is he talking about? Who? He commanded who? He commanded who? We have to look at that and look at it real close. We have to look at this real close, and we'll see what he's talking about. So we know he commanded Israel. We know he commanded Israel. So if we know this, who is Israel? So when you have here, so we got to do two things here. We got to put numbers here, and we see it there. He said the children of Israel. He's clearly telling you this. So we know Numbers 30 and 1. The children, okay, Okay, I don't know why people still posting vows and all that. All that stuff is done. So now we want to understand who. Oh, wait a minute. The children, we have Numbers 30 and 1. But now we want to know, so he made a vow. Who is this? This is Jacob, who he changed the name. So we got to put there in 20. Jacob. How do we know? We have to check this to make sure that we dead on. We have to check this to make sure that we dead on. So let's look at this. So we're going to go to I just told you somebody, okay, I'm gonna end up removing somebody again. I don't need you posting if you just putting up words. I don't need that. Okay, so again, we're gonna look at Genesis 20 and verse 8. 20 and verse 8. And we're going to look at this. Actually, no, 28. I'm sorry. Why I put that there? It's 20. Yeah, 28 verse 8. I don't know what I'm doing there. So let me put that there, 28. I'm sorry. We got to go to 28 in verse 20. And it said right here, and Jacob vowed a vow. So Jacob made a promise. If God will be with me and will keep me in this way that I go, I will give me bread to eat and raiment to put on. And then he says, in that I come again to my father's house in peace, then shall the Lord be my God. So we know this is a vow he made. So we know later he actually changed this to where, so we know this is talking about Jacob's children. So we know this is talking about Jacob's children. So now we got to look at more on what we need to do. Now, how are we going to do this? Now we want to sit there and see what. And we need to find out what. If a man promise, this is where it starts. Why? Because he's going to talk here. So now you see how this is set up. This entire verse is all tore down, and it's all right here. This is how you start, and you're going to start, if you're going to run it in the preceptor, I'm showing you the setup on how you need to go, how you need to proceed with this. I'm showing you how you need to proceed with this. So this is, if you do it, you proceed this way, because now everything is broken down, because we know who Moses spoke to, the heads. So we know that, and the topic was he commanded. So we know, but who is he talking to? Israel, the children of Israel. Who is who? Jacob. We know that. If a man, so this man here, we know mean what? Man or woman, it doesn't matter, because it's M-A-N. And then he's going to actually break it down and give you understanding. This is what's going on. This is what's happening. So let's look at this. And now we got to look at this promise and see how this promise break down in the scriptures. So we have to look at this real close in no, that's the other one. So we need to look at this promise and see how this looks at in the scriptures and see what's happening here. So what you want to do, you want to make sure that you have your notes in there to where we can go through and get this and get all this going together. Now we know right here it says, and Moses spake to the heads of the tribe concerning the children of Israel, saying, this is the thing which the Lord have commanded. So now we know this is the thing which the Lord have commanded. So now we know these are the speeches on what he's saying. on what he's saying. And we have to find out what's going on here. And 1 second, this thing keep doing this, and it's going to actually drive me crazy. So what's going to happen? Now he's going to tell you right here, once we get right here, we know this is the topic, which the Lord have commanded. That's the topic on what we're going to be. So we need to know, what did he command? We need to find out, what did he command? We got to see this in verse 2, what was commanded. So how can we do this? And we're going to look at some of these, and we're going to start finding out some things on what happened. So now let's, let me go, I believe it's this. I believe I can do it with this here. So now we need to find out, what is the points? We need to find out what are the points that's in here. So we got to find out what it is. Other than that, we won't know. So once we have the main part, now we got to see the other part. Actually, let me see where this will actually work, because this is actually going to drive me up the wall. Let me see here. Oh, that's why. Let me see here. Let me see if that'll help me. That might help me out a little bit. No, I'm not leaving the meeting. So this might help me out a little bit more. So now what we got to look at is what's happening here. So now we know here it says, if a man vow a vow unto the Lord. So if a man makes a promise unto the Lord, what happens? Or sweareth an oath to bind his soul with bound, he shall not break his word, he shall do according to all that proceedeth out of his mouth. Didn't the Lord just say this over there? We just seen this in Psalms 89:34. We just seen the same thing. This is why we have to tear down and understand what he's talking about all the time. Because if we don't, we will get lost, and we're going to get caught up in ourselves. And we can't get caught up in ourselves. So what he's doing, this vow, a vow is giving you the background conditions. So again, right here, let me put this here. Right here, I don't know if I can write it in there. I might can. No. But those no, I can't do it, but that's okay. But the thing is, you want to make this out of a condition. This is the background condition. This is a condition on what he's talking about. This is the condition, meaning what? If a man, and this right here is the topic. If a man, what? The condition, vow a vow. Meaning what? Unto the Lord, or swear an oath, or bound his soul with a bound. Now we're going to see another alternative point when you look at this, because when he said vow or swear, and the swear is alternative, but the propose is to bound his soul. That's the proposal of everything that he's talking about. So we have to look at this and how this goes. See, because we got to see what happens. Now we're going to see the negative side on what he's talking about, because he says this right here. And this is this, and see, and he slips this in here. So if you do this, he already mentioned this to us. What? And what's the negative part? He shall not break his word. Because he's saying if you break it, something's going to happen. Because he's going to tell you that later. But this is negative on what you see. So if you need to write in there, you just put negative, or just put a negative on there. Because you want to know What is he saying? This is how you tear it down. This is how we're going to tear it down and understand what the Most High is saying every time he speaks or anyone else starts speaking. We're going to tear it down. This is why we said we got to turn some of the teaching a little bit different, because some people were saying they were having some trouble and they spoke and they the only one spoke up. So we're going to turn things to adjust it because other people wasn't speaking up. So these are the ones speaking up, and this is why I'm teaching more in this way, to give you a little bit more in depth to help you to see what's going on. So now we got to see what he's saying. So this is in the negative. That's the negative. And then he says, he shall do. He shall do. Now you're going to see the comparison on what he's been talking about the entire time, according to all that proceeded out of his mouth. He just said this, didn't he? He just talked about that. This is what's going on. Now we're going to see how he's going to break down again, because now he's going to put a condition there. So now he's going to put the condition, and then he's going to put another topic, and now he's going to be specific on what he's saying. Here we go. It says, if a woman, now that's specific. We know it's talking directly about a woman. This is how you tear it down. And I'm talking about, we can pull tons and tons of precepts for this now. Tons of precepts for this now. And it says, also vow a vow. So makes a promise unto the Lord and bound herself by the bond, being in her father's house. Being in her father's house. Meaning what? So now he's sitting there, he's explaining something to making a statement. The statement that he's he's clarifying one thing here. What? In her father's house, in her youth. He's clarifying that. He's clarifying this. It's completely being torn down. Now he's going to make some more clarification as he goes. He's going to make more clarification as he goes. Now he's going to explain some more. Now watch, here you go. And see right there, see, but you see the context changes because it's a semicolon there. So it changes. And her father hear her vow. Her father hear it. Meaning what? He's going to make more clarification. He's going to make clear, and he's going to clarify some more. In her bound wherewith she had bound her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her. So this is what he's sitting there and he's telling you. So now he's gonna, if he hold his peace, if he's holding his peace, we know since he held it, then we know something's going to happen behind it. He got to clarify it. He got to clarify what he's saying. So this is how the Most High clarifies that. So he's saying, now if the father hears the vow, so if he's sitting there and he hear his daughter in the room making a vow unto the Lord and he hears it, we clearly know he heard it. Now, and he does nothing about it and he hold his peace. He don't do anything. Then all her vows shall stand. Then all the vows going to stand. He heard it. He didn't say nothing. It's not like he can come back 2 days and I take that back. No. He heard it. And when he heard it, he chose to do nothing. Her vows will stand. And now we're going to put some emphasis on this and we're going to see more so what the Most High is talking about. And then it says, and all the vows are saying, in every bond wherewith she have bound, her soul shall stand. He emphasizes that. So once he held his peace, I don't care what he say, that's not going to change. But he gonna give some. You're gonna see. He gonna give you some other conditions. See, because it's another condition. See, you got and right here, and then we got but. Another condition. But. And is a stand, but if another condition. Meaning what? Her father disallow her in the day that he heareth. So now he hear it, but he disallow it. He disallow it. So now what happened? Not any of her vow or her bonds wherewith she had bound her soul shall stand. Now none of it's going to stand. He's clarifying what he's saying. He's clarifying what he's saying. So if she do this, he just clarified. Now, if he heard it and he says, no, that's not going to go down, we can care less what she say. It's not going to stand with the Most High. It's not going to stand. I don't care. I can do what I want. Okay, you dealing with fleshly stuff to where you can go out and do whatever you want. When you dealing with the Most High, he's going to run. He's not a person of confusion. He's telling you right here in his law what's going to happen with your vow, with your promise. It's not going to stand if he disallowed, and the Lord shall forgive her because her father disallowed it. So he's going to forgive her of it. He ain't going to even look at it no more and not going to hold her to anything. Did everybody understand that? Before we move further, we're gonna break a bunch of these down this way because this is the easiest way that we are seeing to do this based on what other people were saying. So we're gonna do this, and I keep forgetting doing this. And okay, so let me put this up. I want to make sure everybody understood that so far, and we're gonna sit there, and if anybody didn't understand it, please speak up. But if everybody understood it, I'm gonna move forward because we got a lot of stuff to move through. So let's see. Did everybody understand what's going on based on what's happening? So everybody in the back, I see nothing in the back. So evidently it's clear in the back. What about on the front on YouTube? Okay, we see everybody. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, only one person to speak. So I'm holding it as that. So now, okay, so it says, Elder, what type of vow? So, and okay, I know who you are, but what type of vow? And if it's her father, I don't care what vow it is. He's making that clear. It can be whatever vow. She made that vow to the Lord. I don't care what it was. If he disallowed it, it's done. And it says, that was for his daughter. Yeah, we're gonna go to everybody else. We're gonna go to everybody else. So don't worry, we're gonna hit everybody else. But we just making this clear. So everybody so far, they're good. So we got good. And I want to assure Mr. Spacey, yeah, that was for the daughter. That was for the daughter. We're gonna go into some other ones. So are we clear? So I want to assure Mr. Spacey is he's clear on that. So as long as he's clear, then we can move forward. All you gotta do is put I'm good and we can move forward. So, okay, I know Brother Mag is good. I'm looking for Mr. Spacey because yeah, that was just speaking on the daughter. Okay, so we got her, she's good. I'm waiting on Mr. Spacey here for his. And this thing is going to drive me crazy in 1 second. Okay, we got the back is good. So, okay, Mr. Spacey is not answering. Mr. Spacely is not answering. So, oh, he's good. So everybody's good. So let's move forward. Now we're going to see more on it, on what's happening. We got everybody's good. And so we can move forward. Now we're going to see what's going on. And okay, so again, you guys says, is that only if she's under age or a growth? You tell me. You already see what it's saying. See, we see what it's already saying. See, and this is where doctrine kicks in. because people sitting there saying, now, well, how old is she? So let's look at that. And Sister April, let's deal with it. Let's deal with it, and then we'll move forward. So that's the last one I'm taking, but we're gonna move forward on her question, and then we're gonna move forward with it. So that's the easiest way to do it. Because, you know, even though her question was good, because she put that in there, and I'm glad someone actually put that in there to where we can make it clear. Now it says right here, let's go back up to 3. Let's look at 3, and let's look at it real close. And then I need Sister April, after we finish, make sure we're all good. It says, if a woman, you see it, it's not to it don't say an age. A woman bow a vow unto the Lord and bound herself by a bond being in her father's house. You see what it's saying right here? A woman. It's not saying a maiden, not saying a virgin. A woman. In her youth, meaning what? Marriageable. You can have children, everything. That's what it's saying. In her youth. And the father heard the vow and bound in her bound wherewith she had bound her soul. After her father should hold his peace, then all her vows shall stand. So this being grown, this not saying the age. This not saying if she's at the age of 18 or at the age of anything. No, this telling you clearly she's still in her father's house. That's all it's saying. Still in the father's house. So there's no age there. Then it says every bound should stand. Then it says, but it says in the father shall hold his peace. Then all of the vows should stand. Every bond wherewith she had bound her soul shall stand. But watch this. But if her father disallow her in that day that he heareth, not any of her vows or her bonds wherewith she had bound her soul shall stand. So what we have to remember is he's not looking at the age. See, this is where we try to kick in our own personal understandings. And he's not sitting there. He's telling you clearly. The key here was in her father's house. That's what's the key. She's in his house. This don't have an age. She's in the father's house. But what'll happen, we'll kick in age, say, well, if she's, 22, or if I'm telling you, well, if she's 22, 24, it should be okay. Now I'm giving you a false doctrine because it's telling you right here, in her father's house. He's making this clear. And if she's in his father's house and he disallows it, then the Lord shall forgive her because he had disallowed her. She could sit there and don't even accept it. What he went against. It doesn't matter. It's still not going to stand because he's going to respect the father's house and he's going to disallow it. He's going to forgive her of it, even though she gonna walk around thinking her vow going to stand with God, and she's just walking around with her own figmentation, her own imagination. Are we clear on this, April, or do we need to go any further? And I'm waiting on April to make sure before I go any further. I'm just trying to make sure that we're clear. Yeah, waiting on her to move forward. And April, that's just a yes or no, all we need. Yes or no. If you're good, we'll move on. If no, we can dig deeper and look at some other scriptures if need be. And she's not putting in anything as of yet. So we're going to have to end up moving forward. And it says yes. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So that's the thing. Okay. Okay. So again, I was mainly dealing with April, but the main part is what we got to look at. See, it says yes, as long as she is at home. Yeah. If she's under. So let's make this clear. If she's under her father's house, remove everything else. Remove everything else. That's it. So we have somebody else talking about her age referred to her virginity. No, this is a bold-faced lie. And that's could her youth refer to her virginity state? No, that's a bold-faced lie. See, you see how people start interjecting stuff in there that has nothing to do with anything. All it's saying right here is telling you it's clear. It's clear as day. It's saying vow in her bonds, being in her father's house in her youth. All that's saying her youth to where she can even have children, everything. But people, you see how people interject saying, well, could be talking about her virginity. You want to put in everything else and it's not saying that. This is why it's moved so close to where we're going to Christian doctrine, because what they do, they elaborate and basically do the same thing as Talmudic stuff. Meaning what? Because the Jewish people do that, they'll do the Talmud, and what they do, they will go deeper into what the law says and they'll add stuff to the law. And this is what you don't supposed to do. You don't supposed to add or take away from it. And that's what we just did. So the same thing with Latasha. What is the age of accountability? Right now, we haven't gotten to that. But the age of accountability, that's a Christian doctrine. Clearly, that's all it is. So age of accountability, that's Christian doctrine. So let's move forward and let's get a little bit more to understand what was going on. Because I see April got it, and that was the point to where we wanted to make sure that she was clear on everything before we move forward. Now we're gonna move forward to the husband and talking about other things. And let's see, did we get to this? This allowed while she stand. Then it says, and if she has at all a husband. So now we're gonna deal with women who are married. When she vowed or uttered out of her lips wherewith she bound her soul. So now we're talking about somebody who is married, and her husband heard it, and he held his peace at her in the day that he heard it. And he didn't say nothing. He left it alone. He heard it, but he's good. It can be whatever whatever she said, it can be kind of negative, whatever. He heard it and he don't say anything. Then her vows should stand, and her bonds, wherewith her bonds, her soul shall stand. So her bonds is all gonna stand. Meaning what? Let's say she said, well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be a Nazarite, Father, until the day I die. And he heard it. And he did nothing. Guess what? That's gonna stand. Now it's gonna stand, it's a positive and a negative because it got negative tied to it. Meaning what? If she sit there and she do this negative part where she sit there and she drink drinks of the vine, she's breaking the vow. She's breaking the vow. If she's married and she end up engaging in sexual activity, she's breaking the vow. She's bound with that vow. So most people will make a vow to God and not knowing if you make that vow to him, intimacy is out the question. That goes out the window. So let's move a little bit deeper. Now it's saying that it's going to stand. But if her husband disallow her on that day that he heard it, semicolon, it changes, then he shall make her vow which she had vowed in that which she uttered out with her lips, wherewith her bounds of her soul. You see how much he explains into this on what's going on. He goes deep into it on what is actually happening. Why? Because he want to make sure what you understand. Because why? He's putting this, but if he's putting this condition, and then when you see it, see that it is added, but it's supplied. And then the implication, which is the point, then he should make her vow that she vowed which she uttered out of her lips. Now he's telling you what it is, And now he's going to expand on it, wherewith her bond of her soul, none effect. None effect. And the Lord shall forgive her. So these things going to go through, and then these bonds, they end up being broken, and then you can get rid of them. So this is the thing, and that thing is the promise. So if a man, meaning if he vowed his vow, and the point is making to where he swear with an oath and bound his soul. So how do all this works on what's going on? We have to see how everything's going, because watch this in verse 9. It says, but every vow of a widow. See, you see now she's a widow, but every vow of a widow and of her that is divorced, wherewith she has bound her soul, shall stand against her. It's gonna stand against her. Why? This is something Moses put there, but why is that there? Because the Most High is gonna see divorce. How do we know that? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you how Moses. So this is why it's important. We have to understand the law on what's happening. So we're gonna look at something, and we're gonna go to Paul and let Paul break down some of the law. So why is saying the divorce? Because we want to look at what's going on. Because even though we know Yahushua can sit there and tell you from the beginning it was not so, but we're gonna let Paul explain it, and Paul gonna make it real clear for you, real simple. So it's telling you right here. It says, "Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, that how the law have dominion over a man, that means man or woman, as long as he liveth. For a woman which hath a husband is bound by the law to her husband as long as he liveth." As long as he liveth. So it don't matter. But watch this. See, this is what we get caught up. That's why I say we have to understand the Bible to understand what's going on, because the Bible is all connected. Now it's saying what? But if the husband, the condition be dead, she's loose from the law of her husband. That's the only way she's going to be loose. He has to be dead. So then if her husband liveth, so now she's divorced, because it says what? She be married to another man. So if he lived and you call yourself getting a divorce and you with another man, she should be called an adulteress. You're not getting around it. You stuck. But if her husband be dead, she's free from that law, so that she is no more adulteress, though she be married to another man. So no matter what you do, and you sitting there, when you looking at that and you saying, well, he's saying divorce, he's telling you all the time what's going on. Because same thing I said, Yahushua sit there and said, from the beginning, it was not so. But for the hardness of your heart, Moses did this. This is what Moses did for the hardness of your hearts. But this is not so. But the reason this is there, because it said, but every vow of a widow and of her that is divorced. Why? Because her husband is not going to be there and he's not going to hear it. So if he don't hear it when she utter it out, it's going to stand automatically. So it's bound. That's all this is saying. More clarification: wherewith they have bound their souls shall stand against her. You see, it stand against her. And if she vowed in her husband's house, or her bound her soul with a bond and an oath, and her husband heard it, and he held his peace at her and disallowed her not, then all her vows should stand, and every bound wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. It's clear as day. But if her husband have uttered, made them void on the day he heard them, then whatsoever proceeded out of her lips concerning her vow or concerning the bond of her soul shall stand. Her husband have made them void, and the Lord shall forgive her. This is clear as day. Clear as day. He's clarifying everything as he goes. He's clarifying everything as he's going through it. So I want to make sure we understand those vows. So those vows are made, and if someone else sit there and they change that vow, and that husband disallows it, we know clearly now that it's not going to stand. He disallows it. It's not going to stand at all. Now, do we have any questions on it? Because now we have some questions, and I want to make sure everybody understood those questions that we had in the book. So do we have any questions on what we've got so far? Any questions on what we have so far? And I don't see any so far. Actually, I have one in here. All right, you can go ahead, my sister.
So that's speaking of a husband and wife. So, but if you're in a widow, in a divorcee, so if I'm divorced, any vow that I make into my house to the Lord will stand because I'm alone, right?
Yeah, because he don't hear it.
Okay.
So, but you see it saying it will be against you.
Okay.
Meaning what?
Don't sin.
Because if it goes down, and you change your mind, sometimes women change their mind. No, you gonna pay that vow.
Okay, now when you say pay that vow, what you mean? Like, okay, I like say for instance, you made a vow like, Lord, I'm trying to quit smoking. I'm gonna smoke just one more time. And then you smoke that one more time, but then you didn't smoke no more.
No, because you just broke your vow, because you said, Lord, I'm gonna quit smoking, but I'm gonna smoke one more time. You actually contradicting yourself. Do you follow me?
Okay.
You got a lot of people who sit there and say, Lord, I want you to help me. I'm gonna quit smoking. I'm gonna smoke this week, and I ain't smoking no more this week. Why did you vow? Why did you just didn't make the vow when you gonna quit?
But he told me, I was standing outside with that last cigarette I told him I was gonna smoke, and he said either put it down or lay it down. So I never smoked again.
Yeah. See, and that's good. That's good. Because if you can walk away from it, then that's the best thing you can do.
Yep.
So a lot of people don't know, that's the same thing I told people, and I tell a few people know who I was in my early 20s. Take me about a week to smoke a pack, but I smoke. And then it took my daughter. My daughter was my road dog. Everywhere I went, you'll see my daughter. And she was 5 years old, starting school. And the same thing as one time we were going to LA, we were going to see my mom. And as we driving, she looked at me with the most innocent look, and she just said, Daddy. I said, yeah, Po. She said, when you gonna die? Said,
oh my God.
Die? She said, yeah. Who said I'm gonna die? She said, that's what they taught me in school. When you smoke, you die. I quit that day. I quit.
You know what they say, out of the mouth of a babe.
Yeah, I quit that day. That was when I had that cigarette, I flicked that cigarette out the window. That was the last cigarette I ever had. I was done. But,
hallelujah.
Yeah. So that's all she had to do, and I was good. So I have let me take a couple in here. It says a divorced daughter living in her father's house. Okay, so again, it goes back to the father's house. So it's still father's house. So still, if her father disallows it, it's still gonna stand. If her husband hears it, he disallows it, it's still gonna stand. It doesn't matter. It says, what about a widow like me? Will the vow stand? Yeah, the vow will stand. Actually, let's look at it again. Let's look at this, make sure this is clear. And if we're clear for understanding, this is for, I believe, Latasha. So let's look at this again. Now we're going to look at the widow again. In verse 9, it says, but every vow of a widow and of her that is divorced, wherewith they have bound their souls, shall stand against her. You see, this is being clear. So you make a vow, it's going to stand. And against you, meaning if you don't pay it, you got problems. That's what's happening. That is what's happening. So you make sure you pay your vows. And that's why you see Psalms 50, verse 14. And then it says, elder, what about those vows made before we came into the truth? The vows before you came into the truth, that's one thing. And most times that he will overlook those because you're still guilty of them. So don't think you got away because those are guilt of ignorance. However, once you start making a vow, actually, let's go here. It's a famous verse, y'all. Most of y'all know where I'm going. Let me do it this way. Most of y'all know where I'm going. Let me pull this up because this is real clear on what we're going to make. So we're going to go right here, and most people know where I'm going. I'm going to go to Hebrews chapter 10 in verse 26. For if we sin willfully after we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins. You're not getting around it. You're not going to get around it. None whatsoever. That's what this is talking about. So just like I said, the entire Bible is connected. It's all connected, and we just have to know the precepts of it and knowing what's going on, because everything that we do, we're going to be held accountable for it. And let me see. Brother Smalls.
Okay, so this is the Most High with these verses here. He's keeping his commandment in Genesis 3:16.
No, we on Numbers. I don't know what you. So what are you saying?
Right. For the husband to be able to, as long as she's under their father's or the husband's house, the daughter or the woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So even though, see, you in Genesis 3:15, but what you're looking at is instilled in all the law, is clarifying it in Numbers.
Yes.
So even in Genesis, it was still holding to the same thing. It doesn't
Yes.
matter. So yeah, so that law, it don't say like in Genesis, and then when he got to Numbers, he altered it. It was the same all the way from Genesis all the way to Deuteronomy. All 5 of those law books all stand together. They all work in unison.
Yes, that's why I was just noticing here. He's holding down on it real hard and actually explaining it in depth.
Yeah, and that's all he's doing.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And let me see. One is saying, can we go over verse 7? Let me see. Verse 7. Let me see here. So, and I need to know why you want to go over verse 7, because all you're doing is just saying going over verse 7. I don't know what you want there. So if you can put why you want verse 7, because we can read it, but I don't know what you want out of it. So this is Sister Victoria. I need to know why you're saying you want verse 7. I got it there. So, because I don't know, it's saying, can you go over verse 7, please? Okay, so I'm at verse 7, but I need to know why, what you're trying to find out in there to where we can help you out. So I can wait for that. And it says, so it better not make a vow if you're a female. No, I'm not saying that. What it's saying is you're going to be held responsible for that vow. And what people do, especially women, they will make a vow and sometimes they'll change their mind, because most women will make a vow based on emotional. They'll make a vow. And that's what he's saying don't do. Because most women are emotional and they will make an emotional vow. And that vow going to stand. That's what he's saying. So I don't know if that's what you're looking at. So it said, and her husband heard it and held his peace, at her in the day that he heard it, then her vows shall stand, and her bonds wherewith her bounds her soul shall stand. So that's all that's making sure. It's just clarifying what he's saying. Yeah. Once you make a vow, you can keep changing the vow because you feel like you made a mistake and wants to start over. Let me see. Once you make a vow, can you keep changing the vow? No, you can't. Okay, now I see what you're saying. So it's saying here, once you make a vow, can you keep changing the vow because you feel like you have made a mistake and want to start over? No, that's what he's talking about. This is a clear example on what you're actually saying. So if you make a vow, make sure you know what you're vowing. Because if you said that, well, I'll tell you what, you go back the next day, well, I'll tell you what, Lord, I can't do that. No, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna do it this way. No, you just made a vow. That vow gonna stand. You're gonna pay that vow. You want to change it, pay that vow, then adjust it. That's what he's saying. So it's not like you're gonna have it. So that's almost like going to Burger King, having it your way. That's what that's doing. Yeah, make your election sure. Exactly the point. You make sure you know what you're vowing, because once you vow it, you're gonna pay it. And let's see, Elder, what about when people get married in a church under different beliefs? Does the marriage still stands with the Most High? Yes. Because what you guys doing, you guys coming together and then you're going into it with both of you guys' minds saying you're married. That's how it's looking. So most people will still get married in church and then you're going to go into it. But in the Bible, it has nothing to do with the priest at all. So most people have us there, but still to consummate it, all you need to have is your wife, and you go into it, but with the same understanding that both of you guys are going to be married when you come out. Most people think just going into each other without the concept of marriage, you just horn around. That's all that is. But if you saying that you're married and she's saying she's going to be married when you go into her, when y'all do it, you're going into it, you're married. But if you saying to her, saying, well, hey, let's go kick boots. And she's saying, yeah, let's go kick boots. Y'all just horn around. No one's married. But he said you don't supposed to do it because that's the marital thing. And that's just fornicating, which is still a sin. So that's how that works out. And let's see. So to make a vow, we have to say it aloud with speech. Mainly, yes. That's going to not where they can hear it all down the street. You can just talk normal, making a vow to the Most High. You're gonna make it. He wants you to make it out your own lips. Okay, got it. So what scripture is saying, regardless if a man disallows it, no. So if a man disallows, okay, if he's your husband or you in his house, and that's what it's saying. So let's watch that part, because that's the controlling part. Then the Lord will accept the vow because it was made in sincerity to the Lord. So let's say you visit my house. You come over to my house. And this is Belinda. So Brenda. So let's say you come over to my house and you make a vow to the Lord. And I say, nope, you ain't doing it. You ain't in my house. You're not subject under me. That vow gonna stand. So I think you said something about sex. Okay, so you're giving it to me in chops. So I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying there. So when you say something and you're not explaining, it make it harder for me to know what you're talking about. Okay, so Samuel 1 verses, okay, so again, when you're giving me Samuel 1 verses 11 through 13, and we got a question mark, I don't do those in those type of formats. I don't know what you mean and don't know what you're talking about. So those I don't do. Because what we're doing, we're talking about numbers, But right now you're just saying Samuel 1 verses 11 through 13. And you just got verses, and I don't know which one you're saying. So this is the thing where I don't really get into that, where you just put the verses there. You have to actually put the verse in there, and then you're saying Samuel 1, and then go to this verse 11 and 13. This matches up. That's what I need to see. If it's just this, don't expect an answer, because I don't know what you're saying. So let's go over to, and now we need to look at over here where now we need to look at, and this is for everybody who actually have their books. If you have your weekly scripture, we're going to have your books, but I do want to put some of you guys on the line because I do have other questions in there. Now we have the first one: from where in Egypt did the children of Israel begin their journey, and where did they first camp? Now, everybody who got this right in the because the ones who had a book has the answers, but I do want to know. Okay, yeah. So okay, yeah. So the main thing is with the where was the first place they camped at? Do anybody have that answer? Now we know most people with the book know the answer, but if you didn't look at the answers, do you know where the first place they camped? And I need where they camped at, and I need the verse to show it. So let me pull this up to where we have them, to where we have everybody looking at the same thing. Okay, so, okay, Black, you got one more time, and it's saying it is because she is the temple, why she was able to make a vow. Okay, so again, you talking about something else. One more, and I'm gonna end up removing, because just like I said, we moved on, and you're still trying to harp on something else. And just like I said, here, we're not here to sit there to see what you're saying. We're here to make sure we following a program. So we have some people pumping in different things, and I need to put in the pieces. So we have some people who have Exodus 13. We have Exodus 13 in verse 20. We're going to look at that. And we're going to look at 13 verse 20. And it says, and they wait, my thing blinked out. This is finna just drive me up the wall. And actually it's still out. And now it has not came back on as of yet. So I have to wait a second, because it actually, my screen went out. See, it actually took me out. See, this is really weird. Why it taking me out? Let me see. Yeah, because I'm gonna have to find out why my screen is blinking, because it blinked, but then it also took me out of this. So So now let me see here. Trying to see here. Let me see. Okay, so now, yeah, now we're pretty good. Okay, so now we're looking at in 20, it says, and they took their journey from Sackcloth and Clapton, Etham, in the edge of the wilderness. So that's where we have one. Now we have another one, which is Numbers 33, verse 1 through 5. And we asking a specific question. Numbers 33 and verse 5. And it says, and they're using 1 through 5, and this is where they just giving the whole thing. And they journey, the children of Israel went forth out of the land of Egypt and are, so they basically just giving you the whole logistics. And the main part is where they talking about, and it gets down in verse 5. And it says, and the children of Israel removed from Ramsey, pitched in sackcloth. So that's where they pitched at. So this was their first stop off. Now, I know a lot of people are gonna get that, you know, based in the class and everything else, because if you have the book, I have the answer there. However, I do have another question. And with that question, and make sure you listen to the question very closely. So what I want to do is listen to this closely. So who is Ramses? Who is Ramses? Listen to closely what I'm saying. Who is Ramses? And I need you to put that in the chat, or if you want to answer it in the back, you can put your hand up and I will bring you over and make you live. So who is Ramses? That's what I want to know. Who is Ramses? Okay, right now we have no one, no takers. Let me see, we have no takers so far. Okay, so we have one person just saying a region of Egypt, I need a verse. If you saying it's a region of Egypt, I need a verse. So what we're not going to do is throw up guesses and not give a verse. So same thing, we have one person saying it's a city. If it's a city, give me the verse. So we're not going to do guessing. We're going to go to Shirley. Let's go here to the parts here. And we're going to look at something. 1 second. 1 second, I got to go to some participants. And we have Shirley Gear. Go ahead. Shirley. Okay, I'm gonna have to go to the next one. Let me go to Brother Lynn. Go ahead. Brother
Okay,
Lynn.
Elder.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing, my brother?
Shalom. Exodus 1 and 11.
Exodus 1:11. Let's go look at it. Let's see what we got there. Exodus 1:11. In Exodus 1:11, it says, therefore they set up their taskmaster and afflict them in their burdens and built Pharaoh cities, Pithom and Ramses. Okay, so what we got? So you saying they're what? I need you to say what they are.
Treasure cities.
Exactly the point. And in the first place you would have got it nailed down to, you would have nailed it down. And I want you to go to Genesis. When they first start talking about it, let's go to Genesis, and I'm gonna pull that up. But you're still correct. Let's go to Genesis, and we're gonna look at this. So, and the reason I do this is I'll tell you in 1 second. We're going to actually go to 47, and then we're going to look at verse 11. And it says, and Joseph placed his father and his brethren and gave them possession in the land of Egypt, in the best of the land, in the land of Ramses, as Pharaoh had commanded. So you're 100% correct. And but the main thing, what we want to remember is this: most people go through the book and don't like discount when we're looking at locations, because when we start removing just locations and we don't know what we're talking about, that's what makes it hard. But not only knowing what we're talking about, we need to know where to go to get it. That's the important part. So when people sitting there, same thing, when people sit there and say Ramses, and most people think it's talking about some king. It's actually talking about land. But most people tell you up and down, oh no, they're talking about King Ramses and talking about some land. And it's the same thing they did to switch. They made Ramses out of into a man and made Israel also land, which was people. So he actually did a flip. But that's part of the thing. Now we also have see, we have people like to post after much stuff went up. So the same thing, that's why I like people to post only the first couple and then stop, because then people start posting. So the same thing is people without answers, where did Aaron die? Because I got another one, and then I would need somebody live because I want to sit there and answer. So where did Aaron die? And don't tell me where and you're not posting the verse. I need the verse. I need to see the verse. Okay, we got Sister Watson. Okay, so we're getting ready to pull this right here.
Numbers 33, 39.
Numbers 33, 39.
Yes.
You sure?
I'm not positive, but I'm going with that.
Okay, so let's go over there. We're gonna go to Numbers 33, 39. So we have someone else actually. This is 33, 39. So let's go look at that. 33, 39. It says, and Aaron was 123 years old when he died in Mount Now, I asked, where did he die?
In Mount
Now, why you didn't use verse 38? Can you read?
I could have used both, yeah.
Can you look at verse 38?
No. I had it on my page, but I flipped it.
Yeah, see, it says, and Aaron.
I could use 38.
Yeah, see, Aaron,
39.
yeah, you know, he went up into the Mount and commandment of the Lord and died there. So we know that's where it happened.
Right.
You're doing an after fact.
Mm-hmm.
But since I got you on, it's a reason I'm not taking you off. So, so now, you know, right here, where he so how old was he when he died?
123 years old.
123. Now, I got a question. That's why I said I kept you on for a reason. So,
That's what I guessed.
so who is the oldest, Moses or Aaron?
Moses.
We got to remember, these two are brothers. So since they're brothers, and these are
Well,
brothers.
no, Aaron was the oldest because
we
Aaron helped his sister.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Aaron was the
we need to know about our family, because we can't be wavering on our family. So the same thing is, now you saying who's older? Because I'm gonna ask. I want somebody else to answer.
Aaron is the oldest because he helped his sister when they was hiding Moses from Ramsey and them from
Where do it say that? Are you talking about the movie?
But it's in the book too. That's his brother, so he was there with his sister in Exodus. So that means he's the oldest.
So you talking about
Moses
the movie? Okay, so anybody else? Anybody else? See, now we have nobody. Now everybody was posting hard in the chat on YouTube. Now they done just stop posting.
They got scared.
Yeah, I don't know why they're getting scared.
Because they know what you gonna do.
No. We need to know about our family though. If we need to know this history, we need to know it.
Yes, we do.
So I want to know who was the oldest. Okay, we got Brother John Smalls. I told you I find me another I find me another participant.
Yeah, you got it right first time.
No, I can find me another participant. Let me find me another participant. Okay, Brother Smalls.
All right. Aaron was older.
Aaron was older. Okay. Now I got another question. It comes with another question.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm keeping you here for a reason.
Okay.
So now I want to know, if he was older, how old was Moses when he died?
Deuteronomy 34:7.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's go to
Moses was
Deuteronomy.
120 years old.
That's what I'm saying. That's how you shut me up. That's how you're supposed to shut somebody up. So let's go to Deuteronomy and see. As soon as I did it, it rolled right on us. So evidently, you must have knew I was going to do that to you. I don't know how because you did it too quick. But that's a good thing. And it tells you right there. And Moses was 120 years old when he died. His eyes was not dim, nor his natural force abated. So now we know that it's clear as day. This is clear as day. So this is what went on. This is how we knew it. And actually some of these little extra questions, I know they're not in there, but yeah, but that's the way you shut somebody up. Because I couldn't say nothing to you. As soon as you hit it, you just nailed it right there on the cross. This letting you know you're actually doing your research and you actually know your people. Technically, that's all you're doing. So yeah.
Right.
So that's all right, my brother. I appreciate it. So I might as well keep you there for a minute. And it says, and God told Moses to tell the children of Israel to do 4 things when they came into the land. What were they? And I need the verses. Where is that? Where you gonna say it to? And I already know you kind of anal, and I know you don't like looking at your answers. So
It's Numbers 33. I already feel like it's cheating. Already went through it. It's 53. 50. Numbers 33. 50.
Okay.
52. And you 52.
Let me put it up.
So 50.
Let me go to Numbers 52.
So
You
actually,
just using just Numbers 52.
I was going to go with Numbers 50 through.
You want to go? You want to start at 50?
50 all the way to.
Okay. Oh, so you even start where you're talking. So it said, and the Lord spoke unto Moses in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho, saying. So you starting from where you begin. It says, speaking to the children of Israel, saying to them, when ye have passed over Jordan in the land of Canaan, ye shall drive out of the inhabitants of the land before you and destroy their pictures
54.
and destroy all their molten images and quiet pluck down all their high places. And what them the only ones you're using?
All the way down to 54.
Bingo. All right. You want to tell you what, my brother? Yeah, you pretty good on this. You know your history. You know your history because you're stopping right at the point. And depose of the inhabitants of the land, and therein, for I have given you the land to possess, and you should divide the land for an inheritance among your families, and the more they should give more inheritance, and the fewer should give the less inheritance. Every man's inheritance shall be in his place. His lot falleth according to the tribes of your fathers shall inherit it. You all right, my brother. Because you all right. That is all right. So I need me another well, I'm gonna keep you up because I don't want you to answer, but I'm gonna have another question to come up. Okay, so we had somebody sitting there posting numbers 2028. So I don't know why they put numbers 2028. I'm gonna look at the numbers 2028 and see what it says. However, we know that's not it, but we're gonna go to 2028. And this is what I'm saying. We don't want to post stuff up and not knowing what we're posting up. 2028, it says Moses stripped Aaron of his garments and put, okay, I don't even know why you put that there. So I don't know why that is there, my man. That I don't know why you put there. Because that one is No reason to be used. So what I want to do is keep you up, but what I want to do, I want to read the next one. It says, what did God say would happen if the Israelites did not drive out all the inhabitants?
It is right below it. He always going to give it to you. This Numbers 33:55. But if you will not drive out of the inhabitants of the land from before you, then it shall come to pass that those which ye let remain of them shall be pricks in your eyes.
Okay, so that's a good point. Again, you're right again. So I ain't gonna choose you to, but I'm gonna keep you here for a reason. Because what I want to know is, what do prick mean?
Ooh, prick.
Oh yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. You already know I'm gonna push you. You know I'm gonna push you anyway.
Yes.
So if not, get ready. Oh, if not, I'm gonna pull some other people back here because I want to know what prick mean. Because I'm not gonna let you be the only one up here by yourself.
I'll take it.
Okay, wait a minute. We got Shirley. She's coming in on it. Okay, Sister Shirley.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, great. I'm sorry. I'm learning how to use this mouse.
Okay, so well, we need Brother John Smalls. He done took care of you guys for a minute. He's been carrying the football for a minute. So now we need, so what we asking for it, and he's searching for it. But what I want to know what pricks mean. What do it mean?
It means to be a pain in the side and be your enemy, like constantly trying to get even for revenge.
Not quite. It's a straight point on what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Can I answer? Yes. Raz ordered, Judah, you can't answer. What is a prick? I want to know the specific answer of a prick. If you can come in on the other side, you can click and come inside on the other side, and we can actually talk with you. So then you can do it right there. Okay, and let me see. And actually that's what it actually is. We have C Black. He actually nailed it down, but I need you. So he's telling you what it's describing. So you actually got it right. You're still right, but it's another part to that. So what is a prick? I just need to know what a prick is. You're right on, because it's saying like a thorn. Let's go look at that. Let's go look at Numbers, because C Black actually helped us out. Okay, C Black actually helped us. But what we want to do, we want to pull what Brother C Black is talking about, because he actually gave you a blank, and actually sharp pain, yeah, close to it. Brother Black is, I don't know why because he should nail it. Brother Black should nail this because he knew exactly what it was. So he should nail this. So that's why I'm kind of leaning on him right now to force him to come up with it, because he knew exactly what it was right off the bat. So we're gonna go there to 33:55 and we're gonna look at this. 33:55. And he said, but if you will not drive out the inhabitants of the land before thee, then it shall come to pass, which let them remain, shall be pricks in your eyes, and it's a connection, and thorns in your side. So it's saying the same thing, because the prick and a thorn is one of the same. That's why I say you're correct. You're 100% correct. But I need to know what that prick is. Okay, we got Home is King. Yeah, Home is King. You telling me what it do? As King, you telling me what it do? So you're good there, but what is it? Because you telling me what it do. Being discomfort, again, you guys are nailing it to the cross. You guys are nailing this to the cross. Brother John, I never took you out. So you can actually tell you can actually talk.
Is it actually steak?
Exactly the point. Exactly the point. I was looking for Brother Black to do it because he nailed it right off the top. And that's what it is. It's something that's pointed. It's a stake. It's pointed. So it's going to be sharper in your side, in which everybody was nailing what it is. But what we want to do is be able to know what that prick is. So same thing, jealousy in their sights. No, so needle, yeah, you can say that, but a needle is actually kind of small and it shouldn't not quite be used. But a stake is more or what it's holding in on. But the same thing as Brother Black said, it's something, it's like a thorn. It's something that's pointed to when it points into you, as everybody else was saying, it's a sharp pain gonna go into you to where it's gonna always irritate you. That's all it was saying. So actually you guys are good on that one. I got one, I have Porter. Okay, Porter, and go ahead.
Yes, sir. I think back in the day, they how they herded cows into a pen or something. They had a stick, I believe, with a nail in it, and that was a means of control by I guess, a prick.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah. So what you're doing is a good way to see your analogy. You have to remember the Most High. He's going to use animals, land, dirt, grass, the sky, birds, animals. He's going to use everything to describe what he's talking about. This is what he do. So the same thing as what you just related it to, and that's what people do. They'll use a prick most times to sit there to point in things to get people moving. Saying we got not driving out no more to land. There should be a snare unto you and surges in your sides. Yeah, so scourges in your sides. So now we're talking about two different things. And that's Brother Black. We're talking about two different things. Judges getting for the Lord is mine, the flesh thorns in the wilderness and briars. Yeah, same thing. So briars and thorns talking about the same thing. But what we have to remember is what a prick is. So we want to specifically know what a prick is. That was the thing. We want to specifically know what that was. And Brother Clay Porter, he actually explained what it actually does. So that's what we look at. And let's move down, and we can see this. And then it says, now I need one other person up because I want to see how many tribes receive the inheritance of the land. And I need to know where and what verse. How many tribes were to receive inheritance of the land? How many tribes? So we need to know, if we calling ourselves Israel, we need to know our history. I need to know the verse number, though, so don't just throw up a wording. I need a verse. And somebody, we got some Christians. We got some Christians. They going to Corinthians, and Corinthians. Why are they going to 2 Corinthians? But I'm gonna go there just to do it. But I don't know why they going there. They got 2 Corinthians in 12 and 7. Okay. It says, at least they should be exalted above abundance in the revelation. There should be given thorn. Oh no, he's still talking about the other one. And Satan shall buffet me, at least I be exalted above measure. So what we trying to do, we already on the other one, but what we trying to do, but still you're going over to the new technically, and everything is back in the old. So what I need to know is 34:11 is for one of the main ones that we have from Sister Yvette. And I'm gonna also take up who is already up is Sister Watson. So Sister Watson.
I have Numbers 26, 53 to 56.
Numbers 26. Let me put this up. Numbers 26. Let me go here. Numbers 26. What you have?
53 to 56.
Okay, and it says, unto these lands shall be divided into the inheritance according to the number of the names. To the many thou shalt give the more inheritance, the few thou shalt give less the inheritance. To every one shall his inheritance given according to those that were numbered of him. Notwithstanding, the land shall be divided by lots according to the names of their tribes and of their fathers. they shall inherit. According to the lots of possession thereof divided many lands and few. So again, we missing the question.
Hmm.
How many tribes were received the inheritance of the land? That was the question.
How many tribes? So it would be children of Israel. So wouldn't it be 12 tribes?
No. Let's move and let's grab someone. We got someone in the back.
I'm lost.
Yeah, that's okay. We got someone in the back who might help you out. So don't worry about it. And actually we got somebody who's been pretty strong on this subject. And this is Brother John Smalls. Brother John Smalls.
All right. Joshua 13:7. Now therefore divide this land for inheritance unto 9 tribes and the half tribe of Manasseh.
Okay, so did we look at it and all of it? Let's look at it real good. It says, how many were the tribes received the inheritance of the land? Because you got Brother Black. Brother Black is actually agreeing with you. Yeah, Brother Black is agreeing with you.
9.5.
Yeah, he's agreeing with you. He's pretty much agreeing with you. But I'm gonna lean on him. I still need him to stop disappearing on me. He's disappearing over there on the YouTube side. So, because I'm gonna get on Brother Black, because you guys are not looking in the area where I want.
Numbers 34:13.
There we go. There we go. And tell me what it say.
And Moses commanded the children of Israel, saying, this is the land which ye shall inherit by lot, which the Lord commanded to give unto the 9 tribes and to the half tribe.
There we go. So, since I got you there, I'm gonna bring up dang it, now my thing went out. Woo, it's gonna drive me crazy. Okay, Brother Lynn, I'm gonna put you on the spot with him. Can you unmic?
Yeah, the wife was going to answer that same question that you
That's
had.
okay. That don't even worry. I got another one. I got another piece right here. So I always got enough for everybody. So now I said, now did the Levi receive any inheritance in the land? See, I got some questions that I want to put in there.
I know the answer, but I just can't find the scripture, so I know it's no sense in me answering it.
No. I'm gonna keep all y'all right there in the hot seat.
But the Levites, they did not receive land because they were the priests, and they had to the 9 tribes had to give them 1/10 of their offerings of their land.
Okay, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. We got someone already in the chat saying, no, sir. I guess he's saying that didn't go down. I don't know if that's what they're saying. So Genesis 49, I don't know what the purpose of Genesis 49 is.
Okay.
So this is what I'm saying. When people just put a verse there, is not really quite saying what I need to know. But what I'm asking,
And I had that.
did the Levites receive any inheritance? Don't make me start pulling people up. I got 2 people up right now.
The Levites never did receive land inheritance because Yahweh was their inheritance. They were to take on the sins of the people.
Okay, so I got Judah down there. He's saying the same thing. So we got most of everybody holding on to it. I'm bringing up Sister Tally, and let's see what's going on. Sister,
I believe the verse is Deuteronomy 10:9.
What we got?
Wherefore Levi has no part nor inheritance with his brethren. The Lord is his inheritance according to the Lord thy God promised him.
Okay, so what I want to do,
okay, I got
what
it.
we say, we all family.
I got it.
We all family. Now I'm gonna show you what's going on. Let's pull this up, because now I'm gonna have to lean on you guys a little bit more, because we have to know this stuff. And I'm not saying know this stuff just to know it. We need to know this because this is our life. So what we're gonna do, I put this back up, and what we're gonna do now, we're gonna go to Numbers. We're gonna go to 35, and I like the way the brother talks. So we're gonna actually go to verse 35, and I'm gonna go, and I want you to read verse from 35, 1 until all the way to 4.
Okay, who?
Brother John Smalls. That
James Earl Jones.
that was I'll give me that. I was trying to think, that James Earl Jones guy.
And the Lord spake unto Moses in the plains of Moab by the Jordan near Jericho, saying, command the children of Israel that they give unto the Levites of the inheritance of their possession cities to dwell in, and ye shall give also unto the Levites suburbs for the cities round about them. And the city shall they have to dwell in, and the suburbs of them shall be for their cattle, and for their goods, and for all their beasts. And the suburbs of the cities which ye shall give unto the Levites shall reach from the wall of the city and outward 1,000 cubits round about.
Okay, so again, see, nobody didn't put that in there. So now what you're gonna see, some people try to put that in there, but now I'm gonna ask you again, did the Levites receive any land?
No, they didn't.
City of Levites, also Levites,
Oh, they did.
right, but the cities around about them, the city and the cities shall they have dwell in, the suburbs of them shall be.
Elder,
Yes.
I direct your attention to Numbers 18 and 20.
Go to Numbers 18 and 20. 18, 20.
And Yahweh spake unto Aaron, thou shalt have no inheritance in the land, neither shalt thou have any part among them. I am the part and thine inheritance among the children of Israel.
Okay, so who he's talking to?
He was speaking to the Levitical priest. He was speaking to Aaron, but he was speaking to the Levitical priest.
Okay, read verse 20 again.
And Yahweh spake unto Aaron. He spoke
See,
on
wait
that.
a minute, hold it. Brother John Smalls gives too much, so I don't know why you start laughing. You messing me up. But read it again.
And Yahweh spake unto Aaron.
Go ahead, read that again.
And Yahweh spake unto Aaron.
Read that one more time.
And Yahweh spake unto Aaron.
Read on.
Thou shalt have no inheritance in their land, neither shalt thou have any part among them. I am thy part, thine inheritance among the children of Israel.
Okay, so who is he talking to?
He was talking to Aaron.
And what is Aaron?
Aaron is a Levitical priest.
Well, no. What is Aaron?
Oh, he's a priest.
What is Aaron?
Israelite.
No, what is Aaron? Brother Smalls, what is Aaron?
Aaron's a Levite.
But what is he?
Wait a second.
Catch us up on everything, don't you?
We Dr. Shaul put me through this trouble. I'm gonna put
Aaron
in trouble. Thank you, DeForest. Actually, DeForest, Deacon Smith actually helping you. I should kill him.
21. Oh,
High priest.
Oh, he's a high
I was
priest.
about to go there next.
So he's a high priest.
It says in 21, gives an answer to it as well.
Huh?
21, it says, and behold, I'll give it the children of Levi all the 10th in Israel for inheritance,
For the service.
for their services in which they serve.
See, you and Deacon Smith. See, sometimes I need to mute y'all too. He helping, and you giving the other part of it. Because that's why you think I wasn't going to 21? I couldn't let you read 21. If you would have read 21, you would have seen what I was doing, but you already caught it. So now when you see people talking about what's happening, the Levites receive stuff because if people turning stuff in, bringing stuff to the Levites, where are they going to put it? They have to put it somewhere. But their land wasn't big. They just was in the suburbs to where when people bring in offerings, you know, for the widows, the poor, and everybody else, they need somewhere to have this stuff. That was it. But the high priest, don't have anything. Because he's where he's going to mainly be. He's mainly part of the tabernacle. He's part of the Most High was his inheritance. Technically, all they were saying. So he helped it out. Brother Mo. Okay, see, people got some questions in there. I don't know what they got in there. Sister Gear.
My question is that where the tithe came in, where the people gave it to the Levites and they gave it out to the people?
You talking about where they brought them to?
When they brought it to the Levites, is that where we get
No, the Levites, that's what like a storage area for to where they can bring it to the temple. Because
okay, so what I'm saying is that where people get the word tithe, the people paying tithes to something or paying.
Yeah. Well, people are paying. See, tithes is never money, but they twist it to money, but don't have nothing to do with it.
Right. I understand that part.
But that's where tithe, that's where that tithe, that's where that came from.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
You're more than welcome, but that's where it came from. And let's see, we have another one in. So now, how many cities of refuge were given to the Levites? How many were to be in the land, and how many be outside the land? Come on now, we can't have all these cricket. There we go. All right, Sister Watson. Go ahead.
Okay, I have Numbers 20, chapter 26. Wait a minute, let me get which one I'm at now. Okay, yeah. Numbers 35.
Numbers 35?
Yeah.
35 what?
Numbers 35, verse 6 and 7.
Verse
they had 6 cities and 48 cities.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. No, you got it. So we had 6 cities and we had which one?
48.
Okay, so you had 6 cities?
Mm-hmm.
For refuge, but they was for what? For refuge.
Yes.
Okay. And 42 cities for what?
For them, I guess for them to, like you said, to store, that was the suburbs part.
Yeah. So we see Sister Terry Clark, she nailed that down. Terry Clark nailed that down also. So now, see, this thing is finna drive me up the wall.
But Elder Johnson.
Yes.
Okay, you skipped one because you remember you was asking about the 4 offerings and you never did get to it. And I wanted to know, was it the sin, the burnt, the meat, and the drink offering? Or then the 4?
Which one? Wait a minute, the 4, let me see, the 4. Let me go back up to it. I go back to it, no problem. And the 4 things. Yeah. Yes. No, he read it. He read that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because it was Numbers 33, 52 to 54.
You talking to me?
Yeah, that's your answer.
Oh, okay.
3350 from Numbers 33, 52 to 54.
Okay. I got it.
Okay. And then in order to be saved, how long must a person who flee from the city of refuge remain. Again, in order to be safe, how long must a person who flee to a city to refuge remain? Okay, we got Elder Smith. Elder Smith, go ahead.
Yes, Elder, it's Numbers 35:25 and until the high priest died.
Exactly the point.
Elder,
Yes.
Numbers 35, and I lost, 7. It says 48 cities the Levites had, not 46.
Yeah, they had it. Yeah, they had it right. See, but if you see 2, you see 6 and then 42, and you add them together, it's 48.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's all they was doing. Actually, if you look over here, you see Terry Clark actually just did 40, just rounded it all up to 48.
Oh, okay.
You can actually see them. They actually got it on YouTube. That's why I was saying they got it correct.
It takes me long because I'm going through the actual Bible, yours,
Okay.
the hard print instead of being able to
Yeah,
pull
yeah,
it.
yeah. Through the 2 verses, you see one that says 6, and then you see the other one say 42.
Oh, okay.
All they did, they just rounded it up 48, and it was done. So,
okay.
So yeah, that one, and then you had 35:25.
Yes, Elder, I have 35:25. And the
Yeah.
congregation shall deliver the slayer out of the hand of the revenger of blood.
Yep.
And the congregation shall restore from the city of his refuge, where he was fled, and he shall abide in it until the death of the high priest, which was anointed with the holy oil.
Now, with that, since I still got you, and what was the ransom that could be taken for a life of a murder?
Death.
And
that would be.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Let me find it in here, the book.
I'd like to know.
Damn, Elder. You know I don't have my computer. Cut a brother some slack. I'm trying to find it in a hard Bible.
I'm gonna leave. I just said I'm gonna leave you on there, so I gotta go. I have to do it. I kept.
Give me a second.
Yeah, I kept Brother John Smalls. I just kept him. I just said I'm just gonna go on.
I'm going through all this stuff.
I'm just gonna.
Oh, here it is. I found it, Elder. 35:31. Moreover, ye shall take no satisfaction for the life of a murderer, which is guilty of death.
Yep.
But he shall be surely put to death.
Yep. Okay. So I appreciate that. And then I have Brother Simpson. I don't know what he Brother Simpson, did you have a question, or you were going to add to the answer?
Surely put to death.
Brother Simpson?
Yeah.
You was going to add to it? You was going to add to the
Can
question?
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I was raising my hand for the answer of the what would the ransom of the murderer be and where it was located, but the brother already answered it.
Okay, no problem. So well, that's okay. I got another question for you. See, that's the beautiful part about this. The beautiful part about this, my brother. And so what we're going to do, I'm going to pull this back up. And so now everything that we showed so far was based on what? You don't went south. Let me see. So everything that was showed was based on what?
Hello.
Uh-oh. I'm gonna tell you. Terry Clark, you sharp. You sharp. Okay. I want to know, and Sister Shirley, you can actually speak. You can go ahead. I just unmiked you.
Oh, okay. I was going to say it was because we're studying about the vows and the laws.
Okay. Yes. Now I'm gonna show you something. Can you see YouTube?
No.
Okay. I was gonna say Terry Clark made it blunt.
Okay.
Everything is based on a promise.
Okay.
Everything that we have studied thus far is based on promises that he has made. So what we were doing, we were seeing how promise actually works, how things work, what was going on. So because most people will tell you that even with the Levites, they didn't receive anything. They'll tell you that they don't receive no land, no, they didn't get anything. But we found out just on that alone, we found out that was a lie. They actually had lands in the suburb areas in the outer parts because they had to store all the tithes and offering that was coming in. They needed somewhere to put this stuff. So we found out that was actually a lie, that they did actually allotted some land. However, the high priest didn't have anything. He didn't have a house. He didn't have no home. So those are things that we learned. So now what I want to do is I want everybody to go to the other part where we're going to go down into 31. We're going to go into Numbers 31. And this will be the last section we're going to go into. And I want to see Sister Watson.
I have a question before you move on. Okay, Aaron was Moses' brother, right?
Yes.
And he was a Levite.
Yes.
Aaron.
Yes.
So do that make Moses a Levite too?
Whoever said he wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just wondering because it never says Moses was a Levite. So, but if that's his brother, that would make him a Levite too.
Yeah, that made him. You know, only catch what those people off and what people trip off of is where you see these are priests. All the priests is running through there. But what happens where you think that the priest is actually going to be the main one, the chosen tribe to where they're going to be sitting on the throne, it didn't come. The one that was chosen came out of Judah.
Right.
So that's what kind of throws everybody because it wasn't a Levite. And the Levites is the main ones that's working inside the temple for God, not Judah.
So with that being said, and we know we don't know who's who, but are there really Levites still living this day?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
Levites and Simeon. What he said, because of their cruelty, and there was instruments of cruelty, he had to mix Levi and had to mix Simeon amongst all Israel. So we don't know who they are. You can be Levi, I can be, anybody can be one. We just don't know who they are. But he's going to do the separation.
Okay.
He knows who everybody is.
That cleared up a lot for me.
Yeah, but still we all are one, and we should be seeing each and every one of us as one, as a whole. But then the same thing is when we live over, you have Levites living here, you have, Judah living there, you have Reuben children living there, and you can marry within there. The same thing where they talk about Ruth, where you see Ruth was a Moabite, but Ruth was not a Moabite from somewhere else because she lived in the plains. It was in the suburbs of where Reuben was living. That's all it was talking about. And they called it the plains of Moab. It was in the suburbs, but it didn't have nothing to do with the land of Moab.
Okay.
So that's why we have to really watch what's going on. Yeah, brother Smalls.
Yes, I want to help Sister Watson out. Tell her I go to what is this? Exodus chapter 2.
Exodus chapter 2
gives you a history on Moses in probably the first 5 or so verses.
Okay.
Lets you know Exodus 2:1, and there went a man out of the house of Levi and took a wife of the daughter of a Levi.
Yeah. One second. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what we have to look at. Now,
Only men can be Levites, right?
only men. Well, okay. What was Miriam?
Oh, that's right. That was Aaron and Moses' sister.
Yeah,
Okay.
and she was a prophetess.
Okay. Right.
So that's why I say we want to make sure everything you say is no reason, and this is what I like to make clear with everybody: is no reason, none whatsoever, to ever go outside the Bible. No reason whatsoever. Why? Because everything that you need is always there. We just have to make sure we do our due diligence in study. As long as we're doing our due diligence, we'll find it. And the same thing, like I showed you here, in this is more on what's happening when you do it. When you now see a lot of stuff that we went through, many people are going to finish this out on the preceptor, and you're going to get way more information than you ever thought you would get. Because what you're going to end up pulling, if they do it correctly, they're going to pull about 200 verses. Actually, about 205 to be exact, out of this here, with no problem, as long as they use the preceptor.
Well, I have to order the preceptor because it takes me forever to do it my way.
Yeah, well, you see here. Okay, so now we see here. So what the topic? See, he commanded. But then you see right here where I left this blank. What you gonna put there? You tell me.
The promise. No, we got the promise over here in the topic.
No. He's just saying if a man promise. But you just said it the first time. Stop wavering about what you're doing, because he commanded. But what that's what the topic is. It's the promises.
Okay.
That's why I left this blank.
Okay, so I was right. Just don't.
Yeah, you was right.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. You were right, but don't never waver.
Okay.
You see what I do, and most people will tell you who's back in my back classes. If you waver, I will challenge you to the end of the day.
I know. Believe me, I know.
Yeah. So don't waver. Be sure about something. And the same thing, like some people will sit there and just say, I don't know. As soon as you say I don't know, then I walk you through it. But if you sit there and you waver, you shouldn't waver. That's why I do that. You don't waver. Let your yay be yay and your nay be nay. Don't never waver. Because if you waver, you have a problem. That's why it's so easy to defeat Christians. Why?
Okay.
Because what they're going to do, they're going to philosophize everything. They're very easy to beat. What I'm showing you right now, everything, all the information we got, we found out, most of us found out some information today, what? That Levi was given land. But you go tell some Christian this. You think they're going to believe you? But you have to show it to them.
You're right. And some of them won't even let you show them to them.
Yeah, but you see right now, if I say, was the Levites, did they receive any land? What you going to tell me now?
Yes.
Yeah, truly 100%.
That's right.
And then they say, well, no, they didn't. And all you do is flip to the verse. That's the reason we do the studies.
I know it truly helped me tremendously because I was brought up in the church for over 50 years. So when I came to 2 years ago, I came to you, but I was just always quiet and I would just listen and just write down everything you say. And then I'll go back and for that whole week, I go over everything you said. And then I was like, wow, precepts do work.
Yeah, oh no, they work. And same I tell people, precepts are king. They're king in the Bible. Why? Because that's the only way we can know what he is telling us. So that preceptor is like almost like a cheat in a way. Because it helped me out, and that's what I used a lot in my study. But what it does, it makes you focus. And if you end up putting false doctrine in there, meaning what? Making verses don't jive with one another, it's going to do that all the way throughout. And then when you go back to see it, it ain't going to make no sense. But when you sit there and you see how I broke this down,
right?
This is the difference. This is why I say that preceptor, that's why I say on certain projects we do, I won't allow you to use this, or I just ask you not to. Some people still might use it, but that's why I ask you not to use it. Why? Because I'm giving you another key inside this preceptor on how you can break something down. So what we did, we broke down the verse itself. So what we want to know, who? We want to know who spoke. Moses spoke to who? He spoke to the heads. We know this. So now you can say the heads, and then you can even put Israel right here.
Right.
Main thing, now we can look at the
That
top.
was the children he was speaking to with Israel.
Exactly, but we had this right down here. So we
Okay.
have right here the topic. He commanded what? You already know what he did.
Right.
And then I wouldn't put promise, I would put the topic, vow of vow.
Okay.
That's what you want there. See, some
Right.
of it I'm just giving to you. I want to just gonna let people finish it out. But then the main thing is who? Israel, the children of who? The children of Jacob. Because Jacob's name was Israel, and everything that progenerated from him is an Israelite. That's your keys. So now if a man promised, man or woman, it don't make a difference because it's man, and we seen what goes on. We seen what happens, and now we can go through and fill everything up and know what's going on. And now you're going to go into each verse, and now we're going to tie every verse down.
Okay, I love that. I have to have that.
Oh yeah, oh it's slick. It's slick. Some people get on them, it's like crack because they'll stay on it all night. Because it will break down everything.
And see, that's how I be, and I'm doing it by the Bible. I have like 4 or 5 Bibles going, the computer, the tablet.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just but see, then when I do it like that, I'm getting, sometimes you get twisted because you'll start using your own understanding of what that verse means to you.
This going to force you to put you only going to go one way.
Okay.
And then the main thing with this is once you finish, you can actually print it out.
Okay. I need that.
Yeah. So that's why I said I want them to do it on this, because next week it's going to get hot and heavy.
I'll order it today.
Yeah. So same thing. Yeah, you can just if you're gonna do it, you do it through Precept Master. You just do the Cash App through Precept Master. You can do it, and then we'll just send it to you.
Okay.
That's a simpler way to do it.
Okay.
But the main thing is once you start doing this, you can focus more on it. But then if you're teaching somebody, if you're going to teach somebody, or you're going to give somebody a study, you can actually print that out and give somebody your study, and they can see they can't get around it. Because everything.
I know, because I met a man yesterday, and I was in a grocery store, and he was, I don't know why people ask me questions like that. And then by your teachings, and then I was telling him what I was doing. He's like, where you study from? And I said, I just do the precepts that Elder Johnson told me. He said, well, what temple you go to? I said, I don't go to no temple. I said, I do it at home. He said, well, can I come to your house? I said, I don't know you.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are really interested, but it's just hard. I don't really want to start no classes or anything because you don't know who's true Israel, like you said.
Yeah. So that's like with I know Brother Smalls, he talked with a lot of people and different things. And that's why I kind of push him, and he was out there. I'm gonna push him anyway, regardless. Same as Elder Smith. There's certain people in there, no matter what, they get up, I'm gonna push you. And saying they're gonna get, and the reason why I'm gonna get worse, because we need to know this.
Yes.
So some of this stuff you're gonna see me break it down in the preceptor first, and then we're gonna start breaking everything down, because we still not done with promises. We're not done with this, because next week we're gonna get deep into that. Because we need to know what a promise looked like. We need to know the function of it. We need to know how it works.
Yes. I totally agree, because everybody know their vows. I've still been married.
Yeah. So if we know how it functions and know what's going on, then when you walk in the room, you know what's going on.
Right.
It's no secret. So the only way you can find out is if you truly study. If you truly study.
I will, because anytime I talk to you, you're gonna get on me. So I have to step it up 10 times.
Well, see, I'm gonna be like Elder Jenkins. I know he in there. See, I'm still in his name. They call him Elder Nice, which I don't know why, but
I think I worked that poor man to death.
Yeah, but they call him Elder Nice. I don't know why they call him Elder Nice, but I think I'm nice too. But Elder
Very
Smith,
nice.
thank
And I can understand I understand when you talk to me, you give me the meaning, then I can understand it, then I go back over what you taught me.
Okay.
So I can keep it in my head.
Good. Yeah, Elder Smith.
Yes, Elder. I was just going to tell Sister Watson something Sister Yvette and I do. We print Elder Johnson's YouTube on business cards, and we hand it out to Israelites, especially if we don't have time to talk to them. But I always put an email address where they can contact me if they have any problems. And I put my phone number sometimes, depending on how I trust the person. So you don't have to invite them into your house. Turn them over to Elder Johnson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
that would be great.
Yeah, because all we want to do is make sure people understand how everything works, because we're going to get into how words and everything functions. Once we start doing those, and that's why we're going to do some studies, that some of these studies are actually going to be moved away from YouTube and be somewhere else. Still free, but still going to be somewhere else. Because I'm going to have to show you how certain things function. So when you go and you deal with this, you know exactly what's going on. Because certain things I won't teach outside. I don't teach, dogs and all this silliness, but I'm gonna show you how certain things function and what you need to know.
Okay.
So that's why we do what we do. And same thing, I will push you, but I'm gonna push you. Only reason I will push you, and what most people sit there seeing, like the same thing. I don't know who this brother Black is, but same thing. I wish he was on this other side, because I was gonna push him, because he got a lot of stuff good. He did a lot of stuff correct right out there, but I want him on this other side so I can push him. Mm-hmm. Because I know if you can get this, let me push you more. That's why I want him on the other side. There's a few of them that was doing that. I want him on the other side to where I can push you more. Not to challenge you to sit there, but I want to challenge your intellect to help you to understand, to see how these precepts work, because the only way you can do it is when you challenge. And that's when you challenge to where it'll make you think. That's why I sit there. I kept brother Smalls right there, because I'm gonna keep him on the line. Same thing, Elder Smith. I'm gonna keep him on the line. I'm gonna keep him on that hook, because if I push you guys, you have no choice. If you get it wrong, you get it wrong. It's no matter. We just keep moving. But now you know what's going on. That's why I do that. That's why I have to push you, because it's no way in the world to where you can go somewhere later and now someone can actually feed you a lie. That's the catch. If somebody feeds you a lie, then guess who failed? I did. Not the Most High God. I did. I failed. Why? Because I didn't do something properly to make sure you was properly equipped. So that's why I say I like people to ask questions, so I know how to adjust things. And that's why I did this adjustment to where you see I'm showing you different things here on how we can see how to break it down, because I need you guys to know it, just based on what a few people was doing. Because no way possible to what they say. If you under my watch and I'm in the field and I'm feeding, I don't want you to go down on my watch. That's not on my watch. That's and I take that very personal. So somebody, you go somewhere else, then that's between you and them. But if it's over here, no, if you go down, you going down, you did that, you purposely did that on yourself. Because I can't afford it.
I'm never leaving.
Yeah, I need my penny.
And I need to get into heaven.
Okay. Yeah, so
thank you so much.
Oh, you're more than welcome. More than welcome. Any more questions, anyone? So I do know Brother Small, but he good, he can take it. So I ain't gonna even worry about him. So I appreciate him. I appreciate Elder Smith. You guys, let me see. We have Sister Tally, Brother Clayton, Sister Watson, Sister Shirley Gear. She was really getting into it. And I still need some of you other guys where you be back here, Brother Lynn. I appreciate everybody who's back here, because when you have to sit there and I push you, that's what I'm looking for. So yeah, and that's what the Lynn family, because the wife and the husband and the wife is there. So because allow to come over here to where we can push, to where we can learn. And the same thing that I'm asking people that's over here on the YouTube side, you guys can click over here and come over here, because in the same thing with the brother Blank and some of you guys, I want you guys over here to where I can push you to understand what's going on, because we need to know what's happening. So until I know this weekend, the Sabbath, we will be going through the book of Jasher, which is on another teaching, which we're going to bring up some other teachers. So we're going to be going through that. And then we will be on Sunday, we will be right back to Romans. We're going to comb through it, and we're going to be combing through it, and we're going to start getting a lot of stuff more detailed. But on this Israelite Weekly, a lot of the stuff I'm gonna pull it through the preceptor for the simple fact, and some people don't have it, you have to do it the other way, but I want to make sure that you guys get it so this can be your work. So as he said, you want him on your mind when you get up, you want him on your mind when you're walking, you want him on your mind when you're at work, you want him on your mind when you get back home. That's what we do. And Sister Gear?
Yes, Elder, is it possible I could get the document of the prophets? I missed that one.
The documents of the prophets?
Yeah, the different names, the last documents that you put in, and people.
Yeah, it's in the KJBU. I believe it's over there.
When I looked, I had like a error, so I didn't get the documents.
Okay, I tell you what you do. Send me an email. Send me an email, and then what I do, I'll forward it to you.
Thank you.
Okay, you're more than welcome. Okay, any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, 1 second. Then we got brother Porter.
Yes, sir. Excuse me, but the inheritance that the Levi wasn't allowed to have.
Mhm.
Who was there? Who was there in what or who was there in inheritance? Was it for a reason or a
The Most
person
High,
or
yeah,
place?
the Most High was his inheritance.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and see now, and what we look at is what we're doing. See, what most people doing in to look at it even in a better way. What will you want to be your inheritance? Do you want land or do you want the Most High?
The Most High, sir.
Exactly the point. So what did he say that we'll be if we obey his commandments?
Servant, sir.
And what did he say in actually, let's look at this and see more of what he said, because this is what you want. Because land, what did he say gonna happen to this world? This world gonna pass away.
Yes, sir.
So if we know this, 1 second. If we know that that's going to happen, then we got to go right back here. That's why I say the Bible is so tightly woven, it's unreal. But we got to shrink this Bible to make it to where we can all get it and understand. Okay, it says, now therefore, if you obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, ye should be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. So why you want piece of the earth and you don't want him? So that's what we're saying. Now watch this, verse 6. He's gonna even clarify more, and he's gonna clarify it. Because if you make him your inheritance, and all the earth is his, so if you're his, guess what else is yours?
Eternal life.
No, what else? All the earth is yours. So it don't matter.
Yeah.
So now watch this. And ye should be a kingdom of what?
Priest.
Exactly the point. So most people sitting there looking for inheritance of land. Why are you looking for land and you want your inheritance to be the Most High? Because he makes this all clear right here. This is why I say the Bible is so tightly woven, it's unreal. So even when you go down to 50, and you'll see even what he's gonna say here. Now we'll look here at verse 10. It says, for every beast of the forest is mine. So if you belong to the Most High, do that belong to you too?
The gold, the diamond, and the silver.
No, wait a minute. If you belong to the Most High, do that belong to you?
Yes, sir.
And the cattle upon 1,000 hills, if he own them, do those belong to you?
Yes, sir.
I know all the fowls of the mountain and the wild beasts of the fields are mine. Are those belong to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we clear there. Now watch in 1 second. I want to pull this other one. This other one in it's Haggai. I'm trying to remember where it was. In Haggai. We're gonna go to Haggai, we're gonna go to 2 and 8. In 2 and 8. Tell me what that say.
The silver is mine, the gold is mine, says Yah.
So if everything belonged to him, why are we worried about land?
I understand, sir.
Yeah, so all we have to do, we want him to be our inheritance, live up to the name that given to us, Israelites. As long as we do that, what belongs to him, you don't think he's gonna give you that?
Yes, sir. So in other words, Deuteronomy 18 and 2 just verified everything you just said.
Yeah, let's go to Deuteronomy 18 and 2. 18 and 2. Therefore, they have no inheritance among their brethren. The Lord is their inheritance, as he has said unto them. You want him. Now, how do you change this? You got to open up your mouth.
Okay.
And you let the Lord know. No, we're gonna tell you what. No, I want to see your glory. I want what you have. I want eternal life, and I'm gonna do things required to get there. Same, but I use that excuse all the time when people say the same thing. Go look at that Eddie Murphy movie, Coming to America, and watch what that woman do. What do you like? Whatever you like. Well, I know you trained to know what I like, but I want to know what you like. Whatever you like. Do you have a favorite food? Yes. Oh, what's your favorite food? Whatever you like. That's how you do him. His desire, your desire.
Yes, sir.
You'll be all right. Okay, and I think we got everybody. Any I don't think we have any okay. Kingdom should be added. Yeah, okay. Somebody I'm new but looking forward to edifying. Yeah, let me see if I can put this in there. What you'll do, you'll go to Cash App now and you go just put in precept mastery. You just put in that right. You just put in that right there, and that is precept mastery and your email, and provide your email. That's what it is, and then you can actually have one of those. So, and then that way, because that way we're controlling it a little bit better. And then what they was doing, they was already trying to do it to where another way, because people's out there where they're getting licenses from us and actually selling them for 3 and 4 times higher than what they actually pay, what it actually costs. So if you want to get one, you can actually do it right there. But you have to provide your email, and what we do, we send you the electronic version. So with that, we're going to finish up, and we will start this. I want to make sure we got Brother Melvin. Shalom, Elder. Learned so much. I'm trying to share what I learned of your teaching. I appreciate it, my brother. Get to the point. Yep. How did I say? What I said? Yeah. My typing is bad. No, no worries. So yeah, so everybody, I appreciate everybody who joined us. So until this Sabbath day, we'll be doing our regular Sabbath teaching. Then on Sunday, we will be doing we'll be going through Romans, and we're going to be tearing through Romans. We got to tear through it, got to break it down. So until then, everybody, I wish that you guys learned something and that we continue in this way and we continue to move forward. And as we continually move forward, we'll continue to learn what the Most High want us to do, and we'll do what is commanded of him. So with that, I bid to each and every person, Shalom.